Welcome back to Gunsmith Part 13. Today we are completing the RSAS. Here is the finished build for those of you who just want a reference, and let's get into it otherwise. So now we can't buy the RSAS anymore from the fleet because it's not open. We have to go to Peacekeeper 3. We have to do the age-old barter, this one. This is the one that requires 8 dog tags from Bear and 8 dog tags from USEC, and they all have to be at least level 15. So you need to gather some of these, otherwise there's not really an easy way to get the RSAS other than on ref. I may as well point out this right now. If you do have ref, and you've got him at level 3, you could just buy this RSAS and hand it in. This thing actually complies with all of the stuff that you need for 171 GP coins. So if you want to save yourself the hassle, you can do it from ref. Otherwise, we're going to look at the version from Peacekeeper that requires you to actually do the work and make the build function. So let's open this up. It's actually a pretty straightforward build. The first thing, like always, we're going to use the Hybrid 46 direct thread mount adapter, and then the Hybrid 46 multi-caliber sound suppressor with the 4 RAM barter. After this, we're going to put on this guy, the RAHG 4-inch rail, and on top of that, we're going to use the VFG, the Knight's Armament Vertical Foregrip, like we usually do. Now from here, this is where it is either pretty straightforward or not, depending on what you've got in your inventory. So what we can do to start with is we can either go for the Lebev mount. This one's from Jaeger, and this one's pretty cheap. And inside here, we can just add any of them that have 1,500 sighting range. So you look up in the top left to the sighting range, the PM 1 to 8 will count, this one will count, the Voodoo will count, the Tango 6T will count, and the Razor will count. Now, you may not have any of these scopes because none of them you can actually buy. It says that you can buy these two, but these are on higher level barters, and some of them are actually on ref. We're going to look at the Voodoo, for example. You can buy this from ref for 31 GP coins, but you can't actually get it until Skier 4, and there's a barter for G-Phone X's. So if you don't have any of these optics, probably the easiest thing to do is to go to this, the AX50. We'll move up to the 34mm instead, because this comes from Jaeger 3. And in here, there is actually an optic that you can buy directly, which is this one, which is the Schmidt & Bender 5 to 25 34mm scope. And you can see this is 120k from Jaeger, so it's quite pricey, but you can just buy this and stick this in, and that will actually count. Now, unfortunately, if you do it this way, you won't have enough ergonomics. Doing it with the Lebev mount means that you will always have enough ergo, so this way you won't. So basically what we've got to do is just change over the stock. This stock is pretty awful, so all we need to really do is go to the Colt A2, change this over to something like the F93 Pro, because that's going to give us 8, and this is now more than 26, so this one should be able to work. And the F93 Pro comes from Mechanic 3. So the final build that I'm using is this one. It has a SIG Tango 6T inside. As I said, you could really use any of these. There is one other way to do this. You can get a PM 1 to 8, and that's on the G28. We use the flea market interface. We can just go and find this a bit more easily. And there is a barter for a Labs access card here, and that will get you one of these with the PM 1 to 8 on it. This is one that people use for test drive a lot. But either which way, I'm just going to go and hand mine in because I had that scope in my inventory. And then we're going to turn this in and we're going to get on to the next one. There's a 1-day delay between this one and the next, so don't worry if you don't see it straight away.